Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I just want to come on and wish everybody a very happy holiday. I have had the most astounding day. I woke up to a huge bumblebee. It was the size of my thumb in the room buzzing around. It freaked Ian out and I had to let it out. And then as soon as I came out this morning for a phone call, my crow is out here. He's coming around and now he's got his friend with him too, and he's going from tree to tree right above my head, and Moonbeams is right here. It's all this beautiful synergy that's working today that lets us know when we're doing the work. As you can hear my crow friend babbling away. I brought out all kinds of wonderful things to do a ritual, which I'm going to film for you guys. Just some pretty marbled eggs and doing some firework for blessings and self-care. Because what happens sometimes if we get going in the regular heavy 3D energy of thinking we have to do something, be done by a certain time, all of that, all these things that, necessitate normal life where we have to go out, get food and all of that, we get lost in other people's energy. So this is to just start to study and reach back and feel collected. And there's going to be a lot of activity in my neighbors' yards because there's young ones very soon. So I just wanted to come out and come on screen and say thank you guys so much for your love and support. And Tori, the Hope Dealer, you're absolutely killing it. I watched your video this morning and she was just talking about how so many people have the capacity to win and succeed regardless of what they want to do if they have that belief system in themselves. It doesn't have to be parental, it doesn't have to be societal, it doesn't have to be religious. It's just yourself, how you feel about it, and knowing that you can endure anything and push through on the other side. I do this every day because I seem to get hit with like bouts of fatigue, and what I have to do is work in cycles when I'm at my most kind of rhythmic and highest vibe to do the readings for you, because that translates obviously when I do work with any of my clients that need an upswing in positivity. It's like we have to work with our cycles, and to just remember that when we can recognize, okay, this is a strong state of mind for me, so I'm going to do my most difficult phone calls, whatever progression through the day at those times, and to reconnect with nature, because that's what's given me my strength. I just went inside and I felt like, oh, I need a nap, and I was like, no, you really don't. If you come back outside and you start your work, you're going to be re-lifted up, because nature does that for you, and you have the cats and the crows and all the fun things to talk to, and I really connect with nature, and it lifts me back up. Because my biggest joy that I wanted to do was go out into the forest today. I promised myself that, to go to Waveney or someplace, and once I make those kind of pacts, it's like I like to see them through. But my biggest hope for you guys too, now some of the content, I'm really excited. I have some really good ideas on, just to lift our vibes, connect with our strongest selves by reaffirming daily that we not only are worth it, our goals and dreams, and to let all the rest subside. Let any harshness, any outside influences, doubts, or whatever happens in that heavier energy, not to allow it into our space, because our space is sacred. And I feel like I've maintained mine in my backyard in some of my areas, and going down the beach and doing reads and meditating. So find your little bit of space, your area of oxygen. And remember, the one organ that we can control is our diaphragm, covering our lungs. So use your lungs for that big deep breath and breathe in and slow everything down. It lets us know, A, we're not in a rush and there's no hurry. Time is fluid, because we have our best days, of course, when we're doing that. So let's really tap into that energy. And I'm going to pull just one card too from Colette's new deck and just talk about that, and then we'll go on to your longer, I'm just going to call it your spring fling read, where anything that wants to come in, because I feel like this is an opportune time to just really get a handle on our mental state and our well-being, which is saying we are what we think we are. So let's think we are safe, let's think we are healthy, let's think that we are available for opportunities and all of that, and it starts to happen, right? Yeah, here we go, covenant with sacred contract. I had to revise this the other day when I was getting too much into the menial, too much into the emotional, too much into the me's. I was like, and Colette was talking about this, that she wasn't spending the time that she should have meditating and doing other things, and felt like she had to do everything herself. When we do that, we get too mental, we get too logistication, like let's do this, let's put that there, let's make sure this is all right. This is just slowing it down. It's spring. Let's sit in the sun. Let's listen to our crazy crow friend that goes absolutely ballistic every time I come out here. It's like I just feel that. I feel the connection with spirit very strongly over the last 3 days because I've been doing this, communing with nature, being outside, being with the animals, studying, meditating, all of that. And you're going to be able to revise your schedule. So you're like, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the beach and relax. I love this. This is one of my favorite cards in this. And at first I thought it was a heavier card and like a little sad, the disowned self, but root curl, it's really where are your roots, what grounds you, what makes you feel good, and reconnect with that. And mine is definitely just going out in the fresh air and sitting and sometimes doing nothing, sometimes pondering, you know, what are some solutions for my clients, myself, my situation, the future, and how do I get those subconscious implants that say everything is not only all right, but it's more than all right. You're going to be able to sustain and thrive and do all of that and reiterate that to yourself because that is huge. And I feel like that's my job a great deal of the time for my family too, because they can, you know, I've got a few skeptics in there and we've just got to go in and say, listen, if you fill, whatever you fill your head with is what you focus on, right? So why would you be focusing on doubt, animosity, or any of that when you could be focused on how do we connect? How do we, you know, vibe together? How do we thrive? And when I'm in that mindset, then we all kind of operate brilliantly in the house. We pull our share, we respect each other's spaces, our energy, our moods, and then people operate differently, right? So find your rooting, find your grounding. Where do you feel your best self? Spend time there. Definitely for me by water, out in nature, in wooded areas, things like that. Go for swims, be underwater, but make sacred space for yourself so you can reconnect with this because that's huge. Again, you guys, I just want to come on camera because you guys are so sweet every time I do. I like to see my readers and people I connect with face to face at times, and it makes a difference. And I feel like today we are just blessed with phenomenal energy, and I'll probably get this video up as soon as possible. So I really want to have an upswing in what I'm producing for you guys, because I know it's like 2 or 3 times a week, but I really want to beef it up on all different kinds of levels, your past life, everything. And because I'll connect with Gregory Scott every day because his voice is very soothing. There's always lessons to be learned with everything. And I start to write things down as I see them. Like the bee this morning, I thought was very interesting. It's very symbolic of Ian has... he's very unafraid of most things or people in life, but I thought it was weird that a bumblebee, which I love and I'll actually pick up with my bare hand, really scared him and freaked him out, as well as Hagen. I thought, well, it's kind of nice to be able to just pick it up and bring it outside. But you forget, somebody's always going through something, or there's a phobia, fear, or something that activates the fear in them. And so I think sometimes it's just little reminders that one man's like simple flea that does nothing for them can be somebody's greatest fear. So I thought that was really wild. And then to come outside and I felt at peace right after that. Then with my crow friend and my favorite buddy Moonbeams just coming over and keeping me company and being able to, instead of having these extreme highs, we can control it and be moderate in our approach to things. And I'm really good at not really caring what other people think, because I kind of operate my own realm and my own time frames and what I need to do to inspire myself, my family, listeners, and things like that. So it just is what it is. But at times I need solitude and I need to study and regroup. And I hope you guys are doing that for yourself too, that you're not just pushing and producing, because it is important to reflect and to kind of hone on your crafts and things like that. Because now is a big inspiration time. I feel like the creatives have big inspirational bursts on what they want to do for their channels, for their vlogs, for their blogs, for what they're learning, and crafters, everybody out there. It's really a new phase, and I feel like everybody's going to be doing really fantastically. So love and light, you guys. You are all going to be in my ritual today and my fire prayer. I've got my candle already burning, and I have everything out here. If you go over to IG, you'll see I have marbled eggs and shells and salt and rose petals, amethyst, all kinds of really neat stuff for it. Because, you know, you guys, I'm always thinking about you. I read all your comments. It's a really, decisive turning point in a lot of our lives. How do we want to view ourselves? How do we want to treat ourselves? And hopefully it's for the best, right? And yeah, this is our last kind of message that's going to be on screen for right now is, you know, it is new beginnings. And we can decide that every day when we wake up, it's a new beginning. I'm going to start a new thought process that is positive, directed, and hold space for others, yet keep boundaries in place as well, right? So you don't feel like you're getting lost in the mix of other people's emotions, that you stand firm to yours as well. And realize that anybody else's belief system and what you should do, be, have, think, say, feel, that's their issue of their viewpoint of you. You have your own, and to follow your own strength, you know, because everybody has a unique kind of blueprint to go out and check out in the world. And we shouldn't have to have somebody dictate who we're going to be just because our parent was a doctor or you know, it doesn't matter. It's who we want to be, and following our own bliss and having the strength to stand up to that and go for it. Because this is really the age of Aquarius, where people, the things that matter and have meaning are going to stand out a lot more than the trivial and the material, which is really important. So love and light, you guys. Enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Happy Easter. I am experiencing such a lovely, absolutely mellow, calm, beautiful day where I get to paint and speak. I feel inspired, and one of the reasons I feel that's happening is because I decide to let things slow down and not race so much. Try to do a few things and do them really well, as opposed to just chock or blocking a schedule. And I hope you guys, now that we're moving into spring, are going to be able to do that for yourselves. Just big deep breaths in our diaphragm, slow it all down, stop the carousel of, you know, racing against time and feeling good. So what I thought I'd do for your pick a card is just one of each of these goddess cards, and then there'll be some pretty goddess messages that are helping us. Our spring messages from spirit, our Astera gods, you know, that say celebrate and feast and delight in the beauty that is the outdoors, in nature, and just gazing and slowing everything down. It's so important for our well-being, and it helps me regroup. Like, I find I get a lot tired so much quicker when I'm inside and I feel confined. All I do is step out, have some tea, listen to the birds, and then I can wake back up and recenter. So let's see what some of our messages are today. You guys feel free to watch all three. It's just going to be a brief spring message for all of us that Spirit really wants us to hear. So number one is Tara and centering. This is big. Number two is Astera, growth. And number three is Artemis, selfhood. And for me, centering is all about being balanced and feeling grounded and doing one thing at a time and being focused and have intentionality behind it. So I feel good and composed, right? And Astera, our growth. We're meant to learn new things, do things differently every day. We're not meant to be in some cycle where we just do the same things over and over. Excuse me. Excuses. Good clearing sneeze. And then Artemis, selfhood, you know, separating our energy from others, realizing that our goals, our hopes and dreams are our own, and they don't have to be monitored or censored by anybody else, right? So we're going to start with Tara and centering and see what some of our messages are with that. So firstly, you're going to be, Pele is the goddess of awakening, and it's about what is awakened within us, what is really trying to speak to us and have us travel in that direction intuitively. You know, we have to break out of all these weird indoctrinations of, oh, well, our family says we need to do this, or our church says this, or society. It's like, what do you really feel is pulling you? What is that strong magnetic pull? It's your life path directing you with your intuition, you know, and divine intervention is always going to come in there and help and guide us to follow that blueprint in a harmonious way. Because when we're doing what we truly love or what we're supposed to be doing, we feel the flow state, right? We don't feel rushed. We don't feel aggravation. And I'm finding more and more I have less and less time for any kind of drama, any kind of distraction. If it takes away from my professional, family, or artistic endeavors, I don't think it deserves the attention and the things that sometimes I give it as well. You know, I used to stay up so late so I could just scroll through IG and just, I loved the artwork and all of that, but I'd get pulled into all these weird things that are happening on like reality TV and all this stuff. And I would feel kind of strung out because it's like you're just getting bits and pieces of other people's lives and anxiety. And I thought, this really isn't for me, and to pull away, because what are you being awakened for? For some of you guys, it's your true creative endeavors and the direction you should be heading with that. Maybe reparation on a family level too. I know sometimes that it's one of those things where like, okay, we really have to do some deep dusting and take things off the shelf and have a good hard look at certain things. There are family members that just aren't worthy of our time and efforts anymore. They're either victims of, everybody else, and they're just, it's so problematic that we have to free ourselves from those binds. It doesn't mean because we're related to somebody that we're obligated to spend time, help repair all the damage they do. We need to protect our own energy. It could be that. An awakening of your true inner power and your spirituality. A lot of people are coming to terms with this and what it means for them right now, which is awesome. Centering is very important with that. And then when we have this synthesis, it's like we are now getting aligned with what is really vibrating on what is a vibrational match, what is a true energetic match, people, places, and things. So some people are finding themselves just really like, I loathe this job I'm at. What in the world is happening? Like they're really waking up to that energy where they feel ultra sensitive. Like this has no reward. This has no freedom, joy in the things that our creative endeavors do, right? So I feel like a lot of people are coming to terms with that, and or they've started something, they're like, wow, I really vibe with this. This feels great when I do it. Time just disappears. This is fundamentally part of my journey. So you're synthesizing with that. And I feel that's what will be happening this spring, where you're recognizing immediately, this is for me or no, thank you. And that's important. And all of this goes together beautifully because you will feel centered and alive and awake, and like you are in the right kind of synergetic, mindset. And you like things feel more elaborate. They feel more expansive. They feel like you're excited for them. And that's really big. That means you're in the right lane for that. So that's you, group one. If you're new to my channel, welcome, you guys. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. I'm really excited. Okay, now we're going to go on to number 2, which is growth. And we're constantly should be in this state. If not, we have to ask ourselves, why aren't we? Like, I was really proud when I looked around my environment out on the patio, because I had all the things I loved out here. My music, my art, my crystals, my studies, my candles, cards. I've been painting and getting back and regrouping and earthing and being outside, and it's like fuel for my soul. So and this is saying oftentimes there are elements that help us, right? Water, sometimes being by the ocean, really helps expansive, beautiful, emotional clearance. So maybe that's necessary right now. Animals, I love to sometimes just sit there and pet one of my cats and just think and get in this rhythm. Slow things down. I love feeling the heartbeat of another living thing. It's really interesting to do that every once in a while. It's like I just feel the thump, thump, thump of the cat's heartbeat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these working, beautiful, magic organisms and organs that keep us alive, right? So are you studying? Are you trying to find out new ways to do things? I love this lady of the beast in relationship. Our relationships are energetic exchanges with other things. Things sense our fear, things sense our anxiety. Let your animals soothe and love and coax you into this beautiful meditative calming state. Like when they inhale and exhale and match that, and when cats purr, and when dogs are just so happy to see you, they're beautiful, loyal, open hearts. Really concentrate on the relationships that work for you right now and expand you and make you feel good and make you feel loved and centered, and kind of just pull away and shelve any of those things that give you, people, places, or things, anxiety. If you don't have to be around them or engaged, then don't at this time. I feel like that's definitely a message for you. And beauty, look around you and what is beautiful to you. For me, it's a lot of just the new natural plant growth that's coming up in my yard. I love to see it in all the different stages, all the greens and yellows and blossomings. And yesterday I did a ritual for my ancestors that involves some red feathers. So Ian didn't know I did this. So when he looked down the yard, he goes, I think something attacked a red parrot in our yard. There's red feathers everywhere. And I was laughing. I'm like, there's 3 of them still here, and 4, and they're all still in the yard. And I love that because I feel like it was a prayer for each ancestor or loved one that had passed on that I was saying hello to. And I want to be able to spot them in the neighborhood and all around when I was driving and have that reminder. And right when I said that, they started blowing towards me, like the wind just picked up in the feathers. And I'm surrounded by them now. There's a semicircle of feathers around me. And the most wildest, interesting animal activity is taking place for me that makes me see the beauty in the world. My crazy crow that just is so loud and hilarious. Look around you and see too, I surround myself aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, makes me feel good and soothed, or is it maybe a little on the cluttered or chaotic side where I can rid myself of things? We acquire things, but we need to release them as well. If you haven't picked up something and relished its company or vibration within 3 or 4 months, maybe just really assess, is that just a thing? I tend to do that with clothes. I love fabrics, and I'll pick up things along the way, and I think, wow, I can't even see the forest through the trees with all these clothes and fabrics and back hangings and materials. So time to kind of clean house. And then you notice the beautiful things around you because of that. Like I was working with some gold leaf and some got stuck on my hand and I was like, that looks really cool, and it gave me some ideas. So oftentimes that's why I move outside to do my work, because I feel the expansive, the oxygen, the endlessness, and the sky and all of that, and I don't feel any confines of the interior. So really ask yourself too, how can I look in the mirror and maybe expose my new glow up, right? Exfoliate, do things, self-care, chap lips, take care of your nails. I had to do my nails yesterday. I just put some blue and some glitter. They were just a colossal mess, and they were all different, every single shape and size, due to the fact that I work with jewelry, and one hand was painted and one hand wasn't. It was quite quite the thing to look at. And I feel our interior is reflected in our exterior. So when we feel good, we feel loved, and we feel we're feeling good about life. That is an extension of what is going on for sure. I definitely feel that
we meditate to get good at life.
Somebody just started talking on one of my devices. So let's just look at what we were talking about earlier, our relationship with people, places, and things, and how can we embellish that and help that. And oftentimes it's through growth, interior growth of self. What do we need to work on? And mine is always a time issue. When I feel like there is a lack of time, I feel like I have to hurry people up and hurry them along in my family, in whatever it is. And I don't like to feel like that. So now I just realize whatever I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not going to hurry at all. Hello, Citrine. And I'm going to take my time with things and do them well. And that's kind of your message too. Just slow your roll and have life be enhanced in that beautiful way. So now we're on to number 3, which is Artemis and selfhood. I love this so much because this reminds us, is our message that keeps playing over in our head, is it our own? Is it our intuitive guidance? Is it our divine helpers? Or is it a parent, a religious structure, a business, or something that's trying to enmesh us kind of in that matrix thinking? And what do I really want to do? And aim my focus on what would be my prize, right? Knowing that life is a mystery and anything can happen, just turning a corner, we could meet the love of our life. We could encounter an opportunity that's life-changing, game-changing. Some door can open where we just waltz through, and there we are. We're basically in the land of plenty and abundance. And sometimes it takes a little work on selfhood to find that out, because that's when we see the opportunities, when there's clearance. That's when a lot of creativity happens, when we're like, what are my cycles? What are my rhythms? Am I really super creative first thing in the morning, late at night? When can I conceptualize? When can I bring on new information? When do I feel like I have the power to act on that? And when also rest time, all of that, incorporating that in and letting and allowing this mystery come in and working with it, right? And also not letting this creep in. I thought it was interesting. I want to incorporate this card because this is the dream killer, doubt. And where does doubt seep in? Usually other people trying to assert themselves into our life path, right? Oh, how can you do that? Well, how's that going to work? Do you have the money for that? When is this going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. All the rhetoric, chatter. that makes us begin to doubt ourselves. And we don't need that when we have selfhood, because we're like, this is my goal, this is the momentum I have behind it, and we're forever having great inner dialogue with ourselves on how to achieve this. And it should be an endless great positivity cycle. I love affirmation cards. I love people to create videos for themselves or audios. They can listen in the car. I can have, do, be, say, think, feel whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm moving forward. Ever like evolutionary. Like, I don't need to go backwards. I don't need to have past things haunt me of doubt and fear and, rejection, any of that. Because rejection takes place all over, but it shouldn't let us doubt ourselves or our abilities. That's one person's perception of an ability we have or don't have to their specifications. And that shouldn't matter. We know what we're aiming at and what our thread and where it's going and our belief system in ourself. I feel like when we confidently strive forward to achieve whatever it is we want, and we just keep at it. Authors have struggles with this, a lot of rejection levels, singers, creative types, but we take that doubt and we turn it around and we feed the love and the selfhood that says, yes, we can do this. And we look for all the things that strengthen our resolve, right? Strengthen our growth, strengthen our understanding of ourselves, and ever moving forward. Because I feel like this is a beautiful cycle in your life where you want to figure some of these gorgeous mysteries out and, realize, hey, what do I have a proclivity for that makes me feel great and confident and successful? Some people it's financial, some people it's philosophical, some people it's creative. It's all different threads, and sometimes I like to really expand. One leads to another to me. Usually when I'm speaking, I get ideas for art. That's why I started painting, and then I see symbolism, which gives me more ideas. I feel like it's all going to unfold this great mystery for you to discover more in your selfhood that's necessary for your next stage. Because remember, it's all about the tiny little steps. I saw this great little piece of paper that was like next step, and that's all it should be in our head. All these things should be little molehills where we make them into mountains because we involve other people or our ego. And when we just release that, then everything is much more manageable. And I feel like that's a cycle you're moving into. And give yourself recognition and a pat on the back for coming this far and doing what you're doing under these odd circumstances that are happening in the world. A lot of people are in isolated states, and I thrive like that because I love to just not feel like I have to be anywhere or go anywhere. It takes that onus off me because I'd rather just be, my creative phases, be with my family and all of that. But I do miss, like, today is so beautiful because I hear all my neighbors with children and they're doing egg hunts and they're having fun, and I love that socialness and that warmth and families together is really, really beautiful. So again, really discover what it is that you want. Stop that outside chatter and just listen to your heart space. It says, what, I think I'm going to try this and see how it feels, and then expand that path, make it wider if it works for you, or just put a do not enter if it doesn't, right? If it gives you stress or aggro, done, not going to go there and do that. It's your voice, your direction, and that's what's kind of going to honor your soul purpose and make you feel like you've got, you've got both oars in the water instead of just being adrift. Perfect energy for you, group 3. So that's you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below, you guys. If you need a private read or anything else, everything is there for you. So thanks again for all your support, and have a great day.